When many players fight the Terminants, also known as the bug levels, they find themselves having long, drawn-out fights and constantly running from swarms of bugs. Today, I'll give you some tips that may help you in completing these levels faster. Tip 1. Have someone that can deal with armor. What I mean by this is that you need someone on your team that can effectively take out armored units in the game. In lower levels, this might not be a huge priority since there aren't too many armored units, but when working your way up to the higher levels, you'll often find yourself fighting multiple chargers, bile titans, and other armored units. So you might be asking, what are the best ways with dealing with these units? Chargers are the most commonly heavily armored units you'll see. To deal with them, use either type of rocket launcher, expendable or recoilless, and aim for the front legs. A well-placed shot will take off the armor and expose its flesh, at which point you only need to sink a couple shots into the exposed limb and they'll drop quickly. Another good option is the autocannon. Shooting it in its legs or dodging its ram attack and then shooting it in its weak spot will quickly dispatch of it. As an added bonus with the autocannon, you'll get plenty of ammo, so you can take out multiple chargers if you need to. I don't really recommend using any orbital or eagle strike stratagems, as chargers will usually target you and run out of the radius of these abilities, but feel free to experiment as I found some success with the Eagle 110mm rocket pods. Later on, you'll unlock the railgun, which with only 2 shots to the front legs, you'll be able to blow off the armor, making it much easier to fight off chargers. Tip 2. Use the Guard Dog Rover. The Guard Dog Rover is a flying drone that has an attached laser rifle. It's extremely effective at crowd control, and it will take care of the smaller units so you can focus your firepower on the larger ones. Although it does take up a backpack slot, if you find yourself constantly getting overrun by smaller units, consider swapping to this. There's also many effective weapons you can still use, like the grenade launcher, disposable rockets, flamethrower, machine gun, and railgun, that don't take up a backpack slot. As a side note, you should also be using the breaker shotgun on page 4 of the Warbond, as it is currently one of the best, if not the best, primary to be using. Tip 3. Upgrade your ship. While this one may seem obvious to many people, don't forget to upgrade your ship. If you find yourself not having any samples or struggling to collect any, try lowering the difficulty. Additionally, you'll often find a side objective that kind of looks like a radio dish on the map. When you complete it, it will display all of the minor locations, and minor locations often hold samples. From there, all you need to do is to split up into teams of 2 and run around to collect all the samples. A sweet spot I found for this is to be around mission level 4 to 5 with a team of 4. Tip 4. Armor. In the current patch, it seems that armor rating is bugged, or at least inaccurate. The devs are aware of this, but until it's fixed, I recommend using armor for its speed or its passive. Some notable armors are the Infiltrator set on page 1 of the Warbond because of its increased mobility, the Hero of the Federation and the Champion of the People sets on pages 5 and 10 respectively. These are grouped together because they have the same passive, which is the 50% chance not to die when taking lethal damage. And finally, the Trailblazer Scout set on page 7 for its even higher mobility than the Infiltrator set. Tip 5. Enjoy the game. Knowing all these tips, don't try to rush through the game. Enjoy your time playing the game, and don't stress if you can't do it on the hardest difficulties immediately. This game does have a little bit of a learning curve to it. Getting to know all the enemies, their weak spots, and strategies to fend off the hordes of enemies don't come immediately. I hope you all enjoyed today's video, and if you did, consider dropping a like or maybe even subscribing. You can expect more content surrounding Helldivers 2 as we begin to see where Arrowhead Studios plans to take this game.